and welcome to KG5 Oval for the start of round 8 of the 2023 TSL season. Coming to you from the lands of the Moonina people. Pay our respects to Aboriginal elders past and present. My name is Anthony Osborne. Delighted to be bringing this afternoon's game between the Glenorchy Magpies and the Lauderdale Bombers to you on the TSL live stream. To the left of myself in the commentary box today is Bo Down. And Bo, looking forward to this game, and this is shaping up as a real must-win clash for both of these outfits.
Yeah, good afternoon, Anthony. We've done a few games together now, so it's good to be back with you. And yeah, look, they've only got one win this year, Lauderdale, against Glenorchy, so you'd hope that they'll replicate their form, but it's going to be a tricky game for Lauderdale, I think. So
straight out of the middle, Sam Siggins has burst away, but the umpire has spotted a free kick, and it looks like it'll be coming back the way of the Glenorchy Magpies via Josh Arnold, the inspirational leader. So he launches the ball inside 50 to get things underway here for the Magpies. Reinforcements come in via Reece Sutton, celebrated his 150th game before the bye last weekend. A couple of early touches for him. He kicks it out a defensive 50, but straight down the throat of Luke Nicholson.
They've gone in a bit taller this afternoon, the Magpies. They've brought in Tyrone Bailey from Norfolk, and McInnes is in, and also Dan Murr. So 3 forwards down there with Hunter Wright also going to play a pivotal role down there.
So a couple of early mistakes from both outfits here. Sloppy start, the two teams warming their way into the game. Glenorchy with the ball via Arnold, cut back into the middle. So, as I said, a few new faces for Glenorchy this afternoon, or at least returning faces. This kick comes out wide and finds Simpson.
He's had a really good year already, Brady Simpson, and he kicked it. The kicker was Blake Waite, and he's also been a big shining light here for Glenorchy.
So a few bodies around this football. Going in and laying that tackle there is young Charlie Treasure, son of John Treasure, who's president of the Woodsdale Football Club, competing in the ODFA. Ball thrown up. Siggins v McInnes. No one really able to get a clean run at it. McInnes trying to tap the ball on. Thompson's buzzing about there in support. So too is Whitford. Whitford with a quick handball over to Arnold, who tumbles the ball towards half forward. Matthew Joseph just pushed underneath it. Now scrapping away as Joseph does really well. Gets a handball off, but only as far as his opposing player at ground level there in Tyler Martin. The umpire will come in to intervene once again. So Tyler Martin this year looking to play more of a role across half back. Big addition for him this afternoon, Lauderdale, is Tane Suki. Franklin goes back to Walsh, just jams it on the boot, does Bryce Walsh. High up and under ball, a couple of players fly. Blackburn's one of them, unable to take the mark, then lays the tackle on Arnold. Hot stuff early on. Dancing his way through traffic there. It's fantastic to see Fletcher Hooker back in the red and black after a stint on the mainland. The former Lauderdale Bomber and Tassie Devil. That's a fantastic kick from Fletcher Hooker. Opens the field up for Sutton, who takes a bounce. Dances around one. Steadies towards goal. Reece Sutton. Lauderdale are on the board to kick things off for KG5. And it all started with that magnificent kick from Fletcher Hooker there, Bo Downham.
Yeah, it's great to see him back. Obviously a stint on the mainland for Fletcher Hooker, and he's obviously been really big the past few years for Lauderdale, setting that one up here. So he's going to play a big role today, the young man Fletcher Hooker, but look, just a little bit too easy there for Lauderdale. They bursted through. That kick from Bryce Walsh was a hurried one, and then that really set them up off the wing, and again, a little bit too easy for Lauderdale, so Glenorchy already need to tighten up on their defence.
It's fantastic vision there from Hooker, just to see that Sutton was out in space, and that was absolute silver service from the youngster to the veteran. Hooker's been such an impressive player across his young start to his TSL career, but of course with the what's now known as the Coates Talent League, formerly the NAB League with the Devils as well. Franklin in the middle of the ground, gets the handball off to Sutton, who's been busy early. Sutton jams it towards half forward. Good body work, mark taken. Chance here for Lauderdale to drive the ball inside 50. Again, Hooker's involved. Kicks it to a hot spot, and the umpire spotted a free kick. So Lauderdale threatening to really get a jump early on Glenorchy, and it's going to be a free kick going the way of the coach, Alan Christensen.
Yeah, just a bit of a push there, I think, and he hasn't had the best start already this year as Christensen roams in, and Lauderdale too on the trot here at KG5 Oval, Oz, and hopefully this doesn't blow out for Glenorchy already, but proving signs that Lauderdale are on, and they're hungry because they've only got one win this year by way of Glenorchy, and that was a tight three-quarter performance for most of it, but they'll be looking to really come out of the blocks hard here.
Certainly will, and they've started this game in style. Again, Alan Christensen just getting the defence a little bit nervous, and again, it's just that quick ball movement there from Lauderdale, catching Glenorchy on the hop, and again, Fletcher Hooker and Reece Sutton heavily involved in the build-up. Those two look to have started this game in some red-hot form. So we come back into the middle, and as you said, the pressure has now certainly been applied on Glenorchy if it wasn't already. 4 minutes in, they find themselves 2 goals adrift. Tumbling ball towards half-forward for the Magpies. Franklin swoops up, gets it off to Martin. Martin kicks to the outer side. Hooker, the intended target. He's got Blowfield to contend with. Nice little bit of bodywork from Nathan Blowfield. Dances around Hooker. Screws one towards half-forward. With the sit there is Joseph. Takes a good mark. Joseph, even more responsibility on his shoulders today with the experienced Dilger brothers both out of the game. Kick goes inside 50. Player flew, unable to take the mark. Handball over the top there from Roach. Numbers should favour the team in red and black as McGuinness handballs in the direction of Franklin. Looks like that may be adjudicated as a throw. It will be. So free kick going the way of Glenorchy. Good pressure there from Isaac Manson. And that will please coach Josh Arnold. Manson just applying enough pressure to earn himself the free kick. And now he will have a look at goal. He's got a good kick on him, Isaac Manson. This will take one of his better kicks.
Yeah, I've just dropped another number back in the goal square here, Lauderdale. So if they want to mark, then it's going to be really hard. Manson will set himself for a very big kick. It looks pretty good. It's on the way and just to the right of screen.
So Josh McGuinness to bring the ball back into play. Glenorchy on the board for the first time this afternoon with a minor score. This is the first of 3 games today in the TSL. So the kick goes up towards the wing. We've got North Hobart hosting Launceston up the road at North Hobart Oval at 2 o'clock. And top of the table clash between the Northern Bombers and the Kingborough Tigers. The Utahs as well. Certainly will be. Franklin lays the tackle. So gloomy skies above us, but sun currently bathing KG5, which is nice to see. Siggins tried to get the handball away. Umpire City did so. Numbers here should favour Glenorchy. Hurried kick towards 50. Out into space. Roach competes, unable to take the mark. Bailey there too. Kick off the ground was a clever one. And Sutton, who started this game so well. Lovely kick there. Finding his teammate in Treasure. He kicks into the middle of the ground. A good kick, looking for Perkins, unable to quite complete the mark. Glenorchy now with an opportunity. It just goes over the head of Matthew Joseph. McGuinness mops up, gets it off to Charlie Treasure. Treasure has Whitford hot on his heels. Support coming from a couple of Bombers, but Glenorchy should win this one out. Whitford whips the handball out to Callum Thompson. Thompson with a low ball inside 50 in the direction of Muir. Tied up against the boundary line. Tane Suki very happy to see that one over and out. And I guess it was the corresponding game that you've touched on a couple of times already, Bo, between these two teams. I thought Tane Suki actually did a lot of good things for Lauderdale, but Dan Muir still bobbed up and kicked 5. That's going to be a fascinating matchup this afternoon.
Well, it is, and Dan Muir kicked 5 of, I think, 7 or 8 for Glenorchy, so he was pretty dominant down there in forward line. That's why they've gone a little bit taller to take a little bit of a chop out off the veteran Dan Muir.
Hurried kick towards the goal square, bouncing ball, pressure on, but Lauderdale happy to see that one through. So 2 minor scores now for the Glenorchy Magpies. Lauderdale 2 straight 12. 8 minutes gone in the opening term. It's Josh McGuinness, one of the genuine stars of this competition. Looks to bring the ball back into play. Goes short. Finds Franklin. Franklin now has a runner and Ed Stanley. A couple of experienced players linking up. Stanley out in the direction of Siggins. Good kick, good mark. Siggins wheels and goes. Kicks towards 50. Out in the path of his teammate. A fantastic kick. And the mark's taken. Opportunity for them there through Shaw. Kicks to a hot spot. Plenty of players around this football. Don Brown coming in, but the umpire had already awarded the free kick to his teammate Josh Arnold. Arnold had a couple of options on the broadcast side. Opts to go to the outer side of the ground. Finds Blowfield. Blowfield out in the direction of Nicholson. A bit of a slip. It's such a better team this year with Nicholson and Simpson playing full-time footy. After their Devils commitments last year, Nicholson now links up with Jenkins, gets it back, kicks it towards half-forward. Matty Joseph up against McGuinness. Josh McGuinness does well, gets himself in the right position. Handball and a little much on it. Should work out okay. See it go over and out for a throw-in.
An interesting game, this one. Anthony. Obviously, next weekend we've got the big Tasmania versus Queensland game. So some of these players were hoping to not get too banged up and ready for that one. That's going to be an absolute cracker at North Hobart Oval on July 1 at 1 or 2 o'clock, I believe. You're all around that.
Should be an absolute cracker. Yeah, there's a few players from these two teams in the squad. Arnold and Waite from a Glenorchy perspective, and from Lauderdale, a number of players as well. We'll run through them shortly. Walsh, who is one of those players, lays the tackle. Merida comes through the other way. But you're right, I think every game from here on out is a bit of an audition tape, isn't it? To try and put your name up in lights. And Coach Mavwella has said that if you're not in the squad, it doesn't mean you're out of business, as Lauderdale are in business here. They kick it inside 50, one-on-one between Brown and Christensen. Brown with the footy, Christensen with the tackle. Umpire says holding the football. Outstanding pressure there from Alan Christensen. And he'll have a look at his second shot of the afternoon. Don Brown, ball fell in his lap, but Christensen was hot on his heels straight away.
He's had a few tough weeks, Don Brown. He always manages to get the really good small forward matchups, and it proves a little bit difficult at times. As you see, Christensen looks for his second. He'll set it to the top of the square. Siggins off hands, and Walsh will pick it up. Little bend of the knees, and they'll pay it. So we said in the first game that we did, I only watched Bryce Walsh that game, and the viewers said watch the duck of the knees from Bryce Walsh to draw the high free kick, and that's exactly what he's done there.
He's a very clever operator, Bryce Walsh. He's been one of the competition's very best for a long period of time, and having a bit of a Indian summer this season is Bryce Walsh in vintage form. What can he do on this occasion? Kick just tugs to the right-hand side and through for a minor score. So Bryce Walsh, who this game at KG5 earlier in the year was absolutely sublime, dominant. That was his first game of the season. As the Magpies bring the ball out and find a teammate there in Cooper Meredith.
So just on the over 50 here for Lauderdale. They'll send it down the line. Glenorchy, and McInnes is down there. He'll off hands. And again, Lauderdale just able to win the ball back. So a chain of handballs will link up in the middle. Kick out there in the direction of Curran. He'll pick it up. Nice pick up there from Curran, and he'll find, I think that's Hooker on the lead. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we'll just wait for him to turn around here. Fletcher Hooker, who we've just said has had a very nice career to date, and he's come back to play this game. Not sure how many games he'll play for the Bombers for Hooker, but he's already looked very dangerous. Could be getting a few votes, I reckon, Oz, with this performance already.
Yeah, he started the game in red-hot form as Fletcher Hooker, and now look to hit the scoreboard himself. Crosses the paint of 50. The young bomber kicks on the way, trying to get it to go right to left, but it just stayed right through for a minor score.
It's a very gusty wind down there, particularly at that end. Walking in, Oz, the hair was blowing. It was quite the drift.
Certainly has been. We'll keep an eye on the weather conditions as the afternoon unfolds. The wind does just pick up a little more as well. Glenorchy on the outer side of the ground. Drive the ball out of defensive 50. Mark taken by Martin. A couple of little issues with our scoreboard on the stream. We'll have that sorted shortly. Chipping kick towards half forward. Coming in front there was Jenkins, just keeping the ball alive for Glenorchy, but the numbers around the stoppage should favour Lauderdale. Walsh at the bottom of the pack's involved. Now Christensen comes in and lays a tackle. Umpire will come in to take that ball back. Clearing the football there, back into the hands of Simpson. Side of his boot, looking for Callum Thompson. McInnes comes the other way, and he's very happy to see that one over and out. So we'll have another stoppage. Outer side of the ground.
It's been a pretty even game so far, I thought. Obviously, Lauderdale are up on the scoreboard, but it's just been a little bit difficult for Glenorchy to transition out of their back 50 to their forward 50 so far. We'll look to tighten that up. As we see another tap on here. Lauderdale have been pretty dominant so far, and a lot of bodies in there. A very hot ball working in a telephone box. I know you like that saying. The kick was smothered from Roach. Diving on the ball there for a bowl up.
So we've played 14.5 in this opening term. 2-goal margin in favour of Lauderdale, and Glenorchy after the first couple of minutes looking relatively okay with that. It was threatening to completely blow out. Bellchambers gets the handball off. Nice run there from Franklin, who just fumbles the ball in the middle of the ground. Can see something out of his periphery. Gets it out in the direction of his teammates. Stanley's going to swoop on the football. The umpire will say play on advantage. Stanley kicks it in the direction of Christensen, who's being held by Don Brown. So Christensen will earn his second free kick of that nature. That Christensen-Brown matchup is looming as a really important one. Alan Christensen, with ball in hand, will now look to kick his second goal of the afternoon. This one well and truly within his range. Lauderdale coach. Steady approach. Kick is on the way from Christensen. The umpire doesn't move a muscle. Christensen gets his second. Lauderdale have 3. And the margin goes out to 3 goals here at KG5.
Yeah, that's his second of the afternoon. Sorry to butt in there, Oz, but he's been instrumental again, Alan Christensen, as they look to get their second win on the board season 2023. And Don Brown again just not being able to win the one-on-one battle, so he'll be looking to improve in that space.
He's a very important player for Glenorchy, Don Brown, a very dour defender, and you said earlier he does often land himself with really difficult jobs, and not any more difficult than a match-up against Alan Christensen. Hooker and Siggins match up again. They drive it inside 50 via the superstar Sam Siggins. Tap on there from Franklin. Glenorchy with the numbers. Handball goes back. Wright just gets his kick away in time. Hooker underneath this football, gets it on the second grab, dishes it off to Siggins. Siggins around the corner, driving ball to the goal square. Mark taken. Things going the way of the Lauderdale Bombers at the moment. That's Michael Blackburn. So Stixie Blackburn wheels around the corner and kicks the goal. Lauderdale are on the march. They get their 4th. Nicky Blackburn, one of the competition's sharpshooters in season 2023, kicks his first of the afternoon, and Sam Siggins, last couple of moments, really starting to force his presence on this game. Another goal there for the Bombers. 4-2-26. They play Glenorchy. 2 behinds. 17 gone in the opening term. Nicky Blackburn on the board for the first time this afternoon. So the pressure well and truly on Glenorchy. They need to get a response before this margin really blows out, becomes untenable. In the middle, Sutton. Involved again. Now going in the second time as Reece Sutton. He's got Whitford there for company. Joseph. Clever kick out into space. Nicholson was going to be first to it, but it's going to come back through the other way. There's Alex Continenza. Gets it off to Williams. Williams chipping towards half forward on the outer side, and arriving there was Walsh. Not Walsh, I should say. That's actually Tom Curran.
England cricketer.
I was going to say, I wonder if his brother Sam's playing as well. So the ball to be thrown in, outer side of the ground. Half forward here for Lauderdale. That's going to be an important thing for Lauderdale, is these young players like your Continenzas, your Treasures and your Currans are only going to get better with more experience. And know that the top end at Lauderdale is as good as anywhere in the competition, with the likes of Siggins and McGuinness and Christensen, Walsh. A couple of those players combining there. It was Curran who tumbled it inside 50. Really dashing stuff there from Blowfield. Did well, got himself in a little bit of space. Just breaking down across half-back at the moment here. Nice smother laid. Matty Joseph just kicks it up in the air, up and down the chimney. Clever little tap on. Opportunity now for Glenorchy. Whitford drives the ball towards half forward. Suki with the aggressive play against McGuinness. Went out to get the football. Didn't get it cleanly. Door still ajar here for Glenorchy. A tumbling ball inside 50 from Arnold. First to it will be a nest of Bombers. Tyler Martin mops up and gets it out in the direction of Williams. So it was probably a clever kick from Arnold because he had nothing forward. He had to get rid of the football. Just made it a bit of a foot race, but the ball sat okay for Lauderdale as McGuinness finds Bellchambers. Bellchambers out wide, sets a little bit of a task, but his teammate there in Finn Rackett is up to it. Racket goes to Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe to Treasure. Treasure in the direction of Franklin. Takes a good mark. He's got Perkins on short. He tries to go in the Perkins direction. And Perkins did well to keep it back in play. Has a bit of a problem there with Meredith, and in the end will have the stoppage. So, well, the umpire says that was still in play. Now it's adjudicated as being over the line. So Jeremiah Perkins back with Lauderdale this year after returning to the SFL down at Sorrel. Back at Lauderdale, and has been an important addition. Ball thrown in front of the Glenorchy interchange bench. Siggins does well on the ruck, taps it down, but Whitford mopped it up for Glenorchy. Siggins now does the roving. Couple of players combined. Continenza kicks it centrally. Big ball to win. Manson does well. Cuts into the middle of the ground looking for Muir. He's got Suki hot on his heels. Have a tap, just missed Joseph. Kick now goes inside 50. Brown v Christensen. Brown did well that time. Got rid of the handball, looking for his teammate there. Had a right for support. Now Brown lays the tackle, and we'll have a stoppage inside attacking 50. So 4-goal margin. Fire. Throw the ball up. Tap one down by Roach. Brown doing the roving.
Is playing as the deepest forward for Glenorchy, so let's hope they can get one into their 50 to allow McInnes to jump the football and take a mark.
Taking it out of the ruck, there's Hooker, immediately wraps up in the tackle. The umpire will take it once again. That's the thing, they just haven't had the opportunity to really enter cleanly inside 50 to this point. A lot of the ball being played around this part of the ground. Wright wins the tap down. Dashing his way through his Blowfield. The umpire says you didn't get rid of it legally. That's Bryce Walsh. That's his bread and butter. And it looks like, is there going to be a 50-metre penalty? There will be. So some ill discipline there will march Bryce Walsh directly to the top of the goal square. And the margin will extend to 5 majors. Bryce Walsh eventually gets the football. He will march directly to the goal line. Some ill discipline there turns a likely chance into an absolute definite. Bryce Walsh does the business. Lauderdale kick their 5th, 5-2-32. Glenorchy 2 behinds, and that would disappoint coach Josh Arnold. The free kick was given away, but the retaliation afterwards, after the fact, would really disappoint the coach, and that's what Bryce Walsh can do. He can get under the opposition's skin. He's done it for a long period of time. He's an expert at his craft and a very, very good player. Make you pay for those sorts of mistakes. See that one there, the easiest of conversions. So 5-2-32 plays 2 behinds, 22.5 gone in the opening term.
Sure, he'll be a start-up for the state team. Bryce Walsh has been so dominant.
Back in the middle, McInnes wins the tap down. Arnold wrapped up in a tackle. How's the umpire view it? Umpire will view it as a push in the back. So free kick going the way of the Magpies. Driving ball inside 50. Joseph at the back of the pack. In front there was Tyrone Bailey. Chip kick out of defence now. Blake Waite has the sit. Flew, unable to take the mark. Brave stuff there from young Ned Shaw, who's back in the team this afternoon for Lauderdale. Walsh gets it off to Shaw. Shaw to Smith. Smith to Franklin. Stops, props, now kicks the ball towards half 4. Bit of a chaos ball. First to it's going to be Siggins. Hot handball, a little too hot for Treasure. Treasure now trying to do the mopping up at ground level. Does well. Locks the ball up. Siggins involved too. Walsh flirting around the side of the stoppage, and will now have a ball up right on the paint of 50. Ball's tapped down. Smith. We'll have another stoppage.
Yeah, Jadilga's actually doing the running this afternoon, so I guess he must be an upper body issue if he can still run, but great to see him still out there providing his leadership.
Hurried kick out in the direction of Sutton and Jenkins. McInnes comes in for the support, gets the handball over to Charlie Treasure. Treasure, kick in the direction of Ned Shaw's a good one. Shaw takes the mark. Now wheels and goes does young Ned Shaw. Kicks it to the dangerous spot. Christensen's there. Christensen pounces. Christensen hurried kick. Blake Waite intervenes and mops up the footy on the last line of defence. Waite drives the ball out of defensive 50. McGuinness over the top with the punch. Now weighing the tackle is Jeremiah Perkins.
Yeah, I had McInnes there, Glenorchy, down the line. He probably should have jumped that a little bit better than what he did, but he'll get the tap out on this occasion here, and he'll have another ball up probably about 5 metres away from where we took off. So again, Smith and McInnes do battle. Be another inside 50 here for Lauderdale. Spearing kick. Just drops short to the superstar Siggins, and very hot ball at the moment as we see Arnold kick it out. And he finds a spare player in Roach. I believe that is Roach, but mopped up again.
There was a great smother there from Tom Francis, who's now scrapping away at ground level as well. Feeds the handball off to Bryce Walsh. Walsh kicks it inside 50, and the mark's taken by Perkins, who kicks in the direction of Christensen. Brown with a decisive punch, gets it off to his teammate. Now Whitford has the ball, and he'll bring it out of defensive 50. Good kick. Finds his teammate there, Poulsen. Jathan Poulsen cuts back inboard to his coach and Josh Arnold.
It's a nice little one-on-one battle there from Don Brown, and a little bit underappreciated so far, but that's a very nice one-on-one battle as we see the quarter-time siren go. 5-2-32 plays 0-2 here, 25 minutes just gone, and obviously the quarter-time siren Oz. Glenorchy will be looking to combat this 30-point deficit.
That's right, yeah, it's a quarter that started in really dangerous style for Glenorchy, and they were able to absorb some of that pressure for a little while there, but then they were able to wrestle and get some scoreboard reward to make the scoreboard probably look a little closer to the way the game's been played across the opening term. We'll quickly run through the goal kickers for Glenorchy. Well, no one's kicked a goal just yet, so we'll move over to Lauderdale. 2 to Alan Christensen, singles to Michael Blackburn, Reece Sutton and Bryce Walsh. A couple of the very best players so far today for Lauderdale. Probably throw Fletcher Hooker and Sam Siggins into that conversation as well. But we'll take a break here. Quarter time at KG5, a 30-point margin in favour of the visitors. Second quarter coming up next. Welcome back to KG5. The second quarter about to get underway between Glenorchy and Lauderdale. It's a 30-point margin in favour of the Bombers, 5-2-32. Plays Glenorchy 2 behind. So we're just waiting for the players to get ready and set in position.
Big quarter for Lauderdale here. I'm sure if Glenorchy come up with a great plan, but they seem quite enthusiastic at the break when they were in their huddle.
Yeah, that'll be the message, wouldn't it, from Josh Arnold, just for his team to stay positive and really take the game on. Nothing to lose at this point. 5 goals down at the opening break. We've seen what momentum do in a game of football, and just nail the goal here could really lift things for the home side as we get things underway. Siggins up against McInnes. Middle of the ground. Arnold bangs it inside 50 for Glenorchy. They've done that pretty well so far today in terms of the centre clearances, have the Magpies. Kick out of defensive 50. Only goes as far as Ratcliffe. Dances around Simpson, just gets his handball away. Umpire says that's going to be a tripping free kick going the way of Tom Ratcliffe.
Gee, that's unlucky there for Brady Simpson. It was a pretty good tackle, I thought, as we see another crunching tackle there. We're holding the ball from Dan Muir on, I think that is Stanley. So Muir on the broadcast wing just in front of us will send it deep. Bailey's around, but I'll get as far as the Lauderdale defender. I'll go quickly.
Right, so they bring the ball out. Sutton's going to be first to it. Great leg speed from Sutton. Gets it off to Walsh. Ball won't quite sit for him. Glenorchy with the numbers. They handball their way inside 50. Handball goes off in the direction of Thompson. Pressure coming now from Lauderdale, and now they'll be wrapped up. So thanks for your patience with some of the scoreboard issues we had across the opening term. It should be now up and running.
This is already a better start here for Glenorchy. Just an interesting one. Sorry, we'll get back to the play by play, but there, Simpson just sprinted there. We'll see a holding the ball tackle. Simpson just sprinted to get to that ruck contest to have the contest against the Glenorchy ruckman. So McInnes is going to have to track him pretty well. He's just stopped in the middle of the ground, but very smart from Sam Siggins. He knows what he's doing.
It certainly does. There's an opportunity for Glenorchy. It's going to be Callum Thompson. Blue boots, crosses the paint of 50. He's going to take his very best kick. He doesn't quite have the distance on the goal line. Competing for the mark was McInnes, but slapped out of his hands by the throw in. Just in front of the Creswell-Beakley stand at KG5. And sunshine really well and truly out now. Bathing KG5, suburbs of Hobart. Above that stand, there's a flag that is waving towards the opposite side of the ground. We'll keep an eye on those conditions as it unfolds, as McInnes sees that one over and out once again.
An interesting one in the ruck here. Sam Siggins again up against an undersized opponent, so if he knows what he's doing, is he'll try and trap this inside 50 to get a score on the board.
Roach might have just won the tap down on that occasion. Hurried kick out of defensive 50 for Lauderdale. Sitting underneath, it's Blowfield who takes a brave mark, or it was a high contact free kick. Either way, done some good things early as Nathan Blowfield, vice captain of this Glenorchy outfit. Probably kicking a bit away from goal. Improves for the distance. Drives it towards the top of the goal square. A couple of players moving underneath the square, and the umpire's going to award that as a free kick. So the Glenorchy player was pushed out of the way, and it is Tyrone Bailey. We've seen that he's a limited exposure at TSL level, but he's well and truly up to the standard and can cause some headaches inside 50 for opposition defences. Now Tyrone Bailey awarded the free kick.
Take too long.
Yeah, quickly moving the ball on is Bailey and just sprays it to the right. Wasted opportunity there for Glenorchy. A minor score, but nonetheless, some encouraging signs to start this quarter. As Glenorchy now move the ball by Stanley, who drives it out of defensive 50. Waite had the sit, but coming through the other way was Ned Shaw. The umpire says play on. Perkins get the handball off to Alan Christensen. Christensen kicks it inside 50. Siggins is one out, and he's going to earn the free kick. That's just good forward craft from Sam Siggins. Engaged, got a bit of contact from Meredith, and earned himself the free kick. That's just a player who knows exactly what he's doing.
You can't blame him though. Siggins is just such a dominant force down there that he's almost got to put a little bit of body on him to track him, I guess. But again, on that action, just a slight pull of the jumper there, and again, Sam Siggins, who's been so good already this year in the state team, or squad, I must say, line up and to kick his first of the afternoon as Siggins will meander in the kick. He's on the way, and again, the wind just picking that up out on the full.
Yeah, you can see just the wind causing a little bit of havoc. We talked about just before that it is going across to the right-hand side of the ground, so just something that the players will need to be mindful of as Waite brings it out of defensive 50 and got a fair bit on that kick, but it's just going to bounce over and out for a throw-in. Of course, Lauderdale fresh from the bye last weekend.
Big game, as we already mentioned, for Lauderdale.
Certainly will be. They'll be really looking to try and get some momentum into their season as Arnold hurries a kick towards the wing. Genuine one-on-one. Muir competing well. Did well. Whitford got the footy. Got it off to Arnold, who just earns so much of the football week in, week out. Kick goes towards the captain, Matty Joseph. Outer side of the ground. Numbers now in favour of Lauderdale. McGuinness with the handball. Good chain. Bryce Walsh kicks it towards half forward. A little too much on the kick for his intended target there in Perkins, and we'll have a throw in just in front of the scoreboard, which reads 5-3-33 to 0-3-3. Almost 6 minutes gone in the second quarter.
Throw in. McInnes shoved out of that. Siggins got the tap down. Hooker inside 50. Christensen taps it on. Running around there is Blackburn, but just be there for extra support as we see another ball up.
Such a clever little tap on there from Christensen, wasn't it? It's just someone who, such great forward craft, knew that he couldn't take full possession, just kept the ball alive and kicking it out of thin air. Franklin! Oh, the umpire says it was touch. That would have brought the house down at KG5, but it's a minor score. I like that. Half opportunity. And the fans, the scoreboard operator here at KG5 has actually put that down as a goal, so they'll be disappointed they have to take that one off the board, but a fantastic effort nonetheless from Franklin. Now Glenorchy have the ball in defensive 50. Bringing it out will be Luke Nicholson. Goes out wide to Waite. A couple of the real ball magnets in this outfit. That kick is tight up against the boundary line and out of bounds on the full. So the Bombers to bring the ball back into play. Short kick goes the way of Walsh. Walsh kicks towards half forward, but just got it on the instep. Arnold takes the mark. He's got some players streaming through the middle, but no great options presenting his way. Instead, he's just going to launch it out to the outer side of the ground. That's a good mark taken. Chance here for Glenorchy to build something on the wing. Hurried kick, little scrubby. Could put the Lauderdale players under the pump, but they're up to the task. Handball out in the direction of Walsh, who evades the would-be tackler in McInnes. Gets it back to Bryce Walsh. Now he kicks towards half forward, the attacking side of the wing, and just in front of Don Brown, over and out for a throw-in. Just in front of the YMCA. Umpire throws the ball in. Siggins takes it out of the ruck himself, gets it off to Walsh, gets it off to Sutton. Those three have had plenty of the football so far this afternoon. Sutton's kick It's a tumbling one as the breeze just picks up again here at KG5. Players diving on this football. The umpire lets it roll and eventually says, holding the football. Free kick going the way of the Lauderdale Bombers. They look to move it on quickly. It's a scrubby kick, a little too short for Ned Shaw, and can Glenorchy try and get them on the counter-attack. They're looking to play an attacking style of football, but they're just breaking down a little bit at the moment. Sutton unable to take it cleanly. Whitford with the outside of the boot. That's a clever kick out in the direction of Roach. Tyler Martin able to get to the football first. Roach scrapping away at ground level. Does pretty well to hold things up, but he may have dragged it in. Eventually got it out. Chance here for Glenorchy, still at half forward. But numbers win out for Lauderdale. Walsh with the kick away. Down the line, he finds Siggins. So, just a little bit cleaner at the moment of Lauderdale. Siggins kicks towards half forward, and a couple of Glenorchy players collide, but Simpson takes the mark.
I really liked his season, Brady Simpson. Again, one of the shining lights here for Glenorchy is a kick inboard to another shining light, and the vice-captain of Blake Waite, who I've loved, and send it out in the direction of Jack Males, who's come in today. He'll hand it off to Dom Brown just in front of us, and he'll pump a kick long down the line, intended for Nicholson. It'll be a very good mark there from Luke Nicholson, as he'll look to move it on quickly here. He had Jenkins on, but it would have been a hospital handball if he did. A good choice, Nicholson. Inside, the kick was scrubby, but Whitford there taking the mark.
It's one of the uglier kicks I reckon he received, though, but Whitford made it look good. How good was that kick from Dom Brown off half back? Just kicked it out into space and beckoned for Nicholson to run onto it. Beautiful use from Dom Brown.
Very good kick. Dom Brown. Whitford. Oh, I'm not sure if he's got the distance, but the wind might be able to help him. He'll run to 50. Kick will come back a fair way here, but out on the full. So he had the distance, Oz, but the wind is not being able to pull it back enough. But he did start that kick pretty well, I thought. He knew the wind was going across the left.
Yeah, he just didn't quite put it in the right position to begin with, but he's had a good afternoon so far in Whitford. One of Glenorchy's best. Former Heat medalist in the TSL Development League a couple of years ago. I think Sutton might have just run out of tarmac there, so we'll have a throw in the forward pocket. So a chance here for Glenorchy to try and lock this ball in and create an attacking opportunity. Ball to be thrown in.
Roach versus Smith.
Smith certainly had the size advantage. Got the tap down, and Bellchambers mopped it up. Kicks it out in the direction of Charlie Treasure. Done some nice things as the youngster. He kicks it to his coach there in Alan Christensen. Already kicked 2 goals so far this afternoon. Lauderdale yet to kick a goal in this second quarter. Kick out in the direction of Blackburn. And we'll have a throw in. So yeah, it certainly looks like that is going to be where Glenorchy are kicking today. That will look like the goal scoring end, which is a bit of a funny one because the wind seems to be going the other way. So Lauderdale just haven't really been able to get the ball inside 50 much in this second quarter. A chance for them now, though, as Shaw tumbles the ball towards half forward, and that will roll over and out. And I'll have a chance now, but yeah, the second quarter hasn't been overly inspiring stuff. We've played 12 minutes of football. We've had one behind to Glenorchy and a couple of behinds to Lauderdale. It's just going in a bit of a standstill at the moment as the ball's thrown in. Smith, clever little tap over the top, and a good tackle, but a high tackle. The pressure was good. Execution lacking. So this is Ned Shaw, who just pumps it inside 50. There's some tall targets down there for them, and taking the mark is Sam Siggins. It looked like he had no right to that football, but he willed himself to the contest, took the mark on the chest, and Siggins will look to kick his first goal of the afternoon.
Yeah, look, he's going to have a day out today, I reckon. Sam Siggins and Hayden Smith. Obviously, McInnes is a very young ruckman, as we see. Sam Siggins looked to put his first on for the afternoon. It's a bit of an angle, and he'll run in. The kick's on the way, and it won't make the distance, but Blackburn takes the mark. And we'll see the tarmac run up here to Sticks Blackburn. Oh, he can go the snap. He'll run around and kicks on way. Umpire has called it a behind. But again, yeah, just Siggins and Smith are going to have a day out, I reckon. Unfortunately for Glenorchy, they don't have a big-bodied ruckman.
Yeah, Blackburn misses the opportunity. Still alive here for Lauderdale. They get it off to Walsh. He dances around one. Gets it back to Perkins. Around the corner. Dangerous ball. Christensen's at the back. So too is Blake Waite, who read it best. Waite will exit defensive 50. Good kick to find Tyrone Bailey. Norfolk Eagle. Bailey goes really short to Joseph. A little too short in the end. Joseph has a bit of a problem, but he's up to the task. Gets it out. Kicks it in the middle of the ground. McInnes v Smith. Ratcliffe got the footy. The runners should favour Glenorchy. Long kick inside 50, a high kick, one-on-one, back of the pack. Mopped up by Martin, not a great kick. Pitches back inside and Blowfield. Over and out.
Very scrappy stuff so far in this second quarter. You mentioned both teams failing to kick a goal this quarter. Lauderdale looking to as they go inboard into the middle, and they'll switch it out to the outer side of KG5. The kick wasn't great. Thompson will run onto it. He's had a great year, and he'll just dribble a kick inside 50, hoping that Hunter Wright can get to it as Roach will do battle and have a bowler in the pocket.
Desperate stuff there from Roach just to keep that ball alive, but you saw that kick from Franklin, that one that went back inboard. Just you can see the way the Breeze is just playing a few tricks in this game. That was a vicious outswing to the right-hander that seemed to really catch his team unawares as Sutton kicks it in the direction of Blackburn, who takes the mark, defensive side of the wing, looks to move the ball on quickly. You can see Christensen over the top. That's where he goes. Mark taken. Now Christensen, there are only two Lauderdale players in front of him, and he does well to spot one of them in Perkins. Now Siggins is one-on-one just at the top of the goal square. That's where Perkins opts to go. Not a great kick in favour of Siggins, and the numbers will favour Glenorchy as Blowfield moves the ball on.
That's a really interesting matchup there. Dan Muir on Sam Siggins'
Kick goes over the top. It's dangerous signs here for the Glenorchy defence. Siggins tries to get his handball away. The umpire says he did so illegally. So good defensive pressure there from Glenorchy, just holding things up. But now need to look to try and get a clean exit down to defensive 50. Brown opts to the user of Blowfield, who goes short to Waite. The pressure was there from Ratcliffe. Opens the door. Franklin gets it off to Suki. Dane Suki with a high kick towards the top of the square. Not really in the favour of his attacking options. Don Brown swoops on the football and just hacks it out of there. That's going to work out well. He finds Callum Thompson. So Thompson, defensive side of the wing. Couple of good kicks from Don Brown. That one a little more of a kick in hope, but it works out well as Thompson kicks it out in the direction of his intended target, Bailey. McInnes now coming in to provide support, doing well. Wrapped up in the tackle straight away. We'll have a stoppage. That's half forward now for the Magpies.
Don Brown's just growing into this game. I think Oz, we've really liked his stuff so far. He's never gave up so far early in this game, as we see. Another Don Brown interception, and the kick wasn't great though. As you see, throw in here out of wing. So 16 3/4 gone here at KG5. Sun is still out, which is good to see, and McInnes and Smith will do battle. Failing to get a tap down was either, but again, Lauderdale just providing numbers around the ball. Taking in the tackle. That'll be ball up out of wing. Pretty even numbers so far around the contest. It'll be a free kick to Glenorchy. By Simpson, so he'll go short. Matt Joseph will just send it in the direction of Thompson, but in front spot there was Francis. They'll kick inboard again there, Glenorchy. Paulson and Wright. And getting out of trouble was Lauderdale with a long high kick, and won't be over yet as we'll run out of tarmac there. Brady Simpson. So a throw in, pretty similar spot where it last let off.
So Callum Thompson's done some really good things in this quarter, I reckon, Bo. Did really well there. He didn't have the front position in that contest at half forward, but was able to emerge with the football, just read it really well. Starting to really warm into his season as Christensen gets it over the top to Franklin, cuts it inboard, and now Ed Stanley has plenty of green grass ahead of him, kicks in the direction of his fellow veteran and Phil Bellchambers. Bellchambers drives it inside 50, looking for Blackburn. Stixie Blackburn out in front, takes the mark. And just making sure he's got his run-up sorted, Michael Blackburn. He'll, in typical Michael Blackburn style, in his approach from about Northgate. That's what he does well, Mickey Blackburn. He's got a system. He's already kicked one goal this afternoon. He's had a couple of looks at it. He'll now look to kick Lauderdale's opening goal and the opening goal of this second quarter after 19 minutes of footy. Blackburn crosses the paint of 50. Kick is on the way. Wind playing a bit of a factor on that one. It just misses to the right-hand side, so a minor score.
We spoke about it before, and looks like he'll take the kick in here, Dan Muir. He's usually a forward, but they've obviously got two forwards down there, Glenorchy already with Bailey and Roach, also with Hunter Wright. So they can kind of utilise Muir a little bit more to play a bit of a role on Siggins as he'll end up with the ball. Again, just near the KG5 cricket nets. Send it long in the direction of Poulsen. Hands are down, and again, Bryce Walsh. And on his own, with Lauderdale player.
It's Blackburn once again.
Blackburn, yeah.
So it was a clever kick inside 50. Just spotted Michael Blackburn. He'll have his second look in a matter of a minute. This one from an opposing angle. So, Mickey Blackburn. Maybe a couple of metres closer to his previous shot, but different circumstance with the breeze now as Blackburn raises the ball aloft, begins his approach. Steady as she goes, crosses the paint of 50. Michael Blackburn, kick is on the way, and it looks like an absolute beauty, but hits the top of the goalpost and is a minor score. So, a couple opportunities for Lauderdale. Not easy goal kicking this afternoon with these conditions. And Glenorchy will exit via Meredith, who then gets a handball over the top to Joseph. Joseph with a high kick. Bailey flies, unable to take the mark. He had to sit there, Tyron Bailey. I know you said pre-game, Bo, that he's known for taking to the sky. Didn't quite get it on that occasion, but he's a bit of an excitement machine.
I really like Tyron Bailey. I think Glenorchy can have to try and do as much as they can to keep him. I think he's a really good asset, and they look so much more stable in the forward lines. We see a hand pass out from Males and Paulson will get taken in the Glenorchy tackle, and Roach just pushed off it there by the big man in Smith, and they'll dig into him now.
That's Hayden Smith. It's a bit like Jack Tomkinson at Kingborough. Just throws his weight around, a real barometer for his side, real leader. Smith wins a tap down. Sutton, handball was interfered with by Whitford, and we'll have another stoppage. Whitford turning into a crucial player in this Glenorchy on-ball brigade as the umpire throws the ball up again. Roach had the jump, Smith had the tap. Walsh uses his left boot. High kick inside 50. A little too hot. Coming in now with a handball. A clever handball was Curran. Now over the top to Franklin. Franklin runs into an open goal, and Lauderdale break the drought. They kicked their sixth, the first goal for either side in this second quarter. And it was a nice finish there from Nat Franklin running into an open goal. And for all their efforts this quarter, Glenorchy, they do concede the opening goal of the term.
It all started off with the big fella Smith. Just had the height advantage there on, I think it was Liam Roach who they put in the ruck. Yeah, it was. And again, he's just got the height difference, so we'll have a chop out now. I'll put Sam Siggins in the ruck, so it doesn't get any easier for Glenorchy Oz, and such a tough ruck combo to try and battle against, because Siggins is so mobile as well as Smith, but Smith can good hit out advantage. See another clearance there.
Yeah, it was good from Siggins down to Christensen, who tumbles it inside 50. Against the line, good defensive effort there from Meredith. Composes himself, gets a kick out in the direction of Nicholson, or just evades him over and out. That's right, this top end at Lauderdale is just star-studded, really, and they've a couple of stumbles so far this season, but they'll be hoping they can really build off today. They're looking to be in a good position at the moment. 40 points up. Dying stages of the second quarter. Ball thrown in. Siggins won the tap down. Walsh. Jammed the kick. Numbers streaming forward here for Lauderdale. A couple of volleyball taps keep it alive now for Glenorchy. Poulsen gets his kick away. Simpson does well, had the composure. Got it off to his running teammate there in Males. Kick to the outer side. Some strong body work, but a little clumsy. Free kick going the way of Lauderdale. So we've almost played 24 minutes in the second quarter. The first term only went for about 26. Kick towards half forward, presenting is Siggins, unable to take the mark. Runner on the outer side, but unable to keep the ball in play. Over and out for the stoppage. Of course, half-time coming up in this game. 2 o'clock, the other 2 TSL matches this afternoon get underway. North Launceston v Kingborough at UTAS Stadium, top of the table clash, and North Hobart hosting Launceston over at North Hobart Oval. Andrew Cooling and Cam Brown calling the action from the traditional home of Tassie footy, and Dave Moore and the City Park Radio team calling from UTAS Stadium. Dave Moore recently awarded an AFL Merit Award, Bo, for 10 years of service. Only 2 AFL Merit Award winners in the state every year, and Dave Moore thoroughly deserves that award for the fantastic contribution he makes to Tassie footy every single weekend. Done it for a long period of time. Siggins tackled, just got rid of the football. Arnold and Walsh, a couple of absolute warriors going head-to-head there, and the umpire will come in to intervene.
Definitely a household name, David Moore, in AFL folklore down here, and someone I've looked up to. He's such a good caller, and obviously it's not just a one-man band down up there in Launceston, but he definitely carries a lot of the weight. David Moore, and obviously does the radio show as well, so he's a pretty busy man up there in Lonnie Oz.
City Park Radio, an absolute institution. Yeah, you're right, the team of Dave Moore, Macca McGee, Maxie Walker, David Gruber on the stats, always soundtracking an afternoon in Launceston. Here in play, Waite has the ball in defensive 50. Shaw laid the tackle and is going to earn himself a free kick, and it was a legal disposal there from Waite. So young Ned Shaw will have the shot after the siren. It's not going to be the easiest shot given the wind conditions, but this would well and truly frank Lauderdale's control of this contest. They lead it by 40 points at the moment. Young Ned Shaw will be kicking from about 45 by the time he gets his kick away. Shaw crosses the paint of 50. Kick is on the way, makes pretty good contact. Shaw, but misses to the right-hand side. So half-time this one at KG5, and it's Lauderdale leading 6-8-44 to 0-3-3. The goal kickers for the Lauderdale Bombers, 2 to Alan Christensen, singles to Sutton, Blackburn, Walsh and Franklin, while Glenorchy are yet to hit the scoreboard in this clash, but certainly had some more promising moments across that quarter, but just unable to fully capitalise. So a 41-point margin in favour of the visitors. We'll take a break here for half-time. Second half action coming up next.
about that.
Exercise bike.
Trying to get somebody to catch
Welcome back to KG5. The second half about to get underway in this one. It's a 40-point margin in favour of Lauderdale Football Club. 6-7-43 to Glenorchy. 3 behinds at the main break. Go down in the second quarter. Glenorchy certainly looked like in general play they were able to have some better moments, but they were unable to capitalise, and we only saw 1 goal for the quarter, and it went the way of Nat Franklin late in the term for Lauderdale.
Yeah, welcome back to everyone watching at home, obviously, like you said, but very scrappy football from both teams, it must be said. Lauderdale only kicking the one goal, as you've just mentioned, and 7 behinds, they'll be looking to tighten up on that. Although it's not too bad, they'll be looking to tighten up on that a little bit, but yeah, very strange quarter. We thought that Lauderdale were going to come out of the blocks again and continue where they left off, but they didn't. That didn't happen, and Glenorchy held them to account for most of that quarter.
Yeah, just unable to quite get the play going their own way throughout that term, which would have been disappointing, but something to build off. It's a 40-point margin. Lauderdale weren't truly in control of the game, but Glenorchy will just be hoping to apply a little bit of scoreboard pressure to start this second half as we see the umpire raise the ball off to get things underway. It's going to be McInnes up against Siggins in the ruck contest to open the quarter. Siggins probably won that tap down, although not convincingly. Nicholson merges with the football. High up and under. Sutton in the deep, running back in to try and track it. Unable to take the mark, but gets it on the bounce. Reece Sutton, who started the game so well, kicks it up in the direction of Hooker, who will be awarded with the free kick. Another player who started the game in red-hot form. Fletcher Hooker, back in Tasmania after a stint in Queensland.
Just watch Josh Arnold here, guys. Just moving a little bit proppy at the moment. Sorry to interrupt, but just a little bit proppy at the moment.
That's a good ball. Keep an eye on that. McInnes has the ball, defensive side of the wing. He'll retreat back as they look to reset here. Lauderdale now to Tane Suki. He has a player on really short. Arnold does well to try and track it down, but the mark has been paid. So Lauderdale now to build off half back. Kick out in the direction of Stanley. Tied up against the line. That ball will be taken over. Good pressure there from Luke Nicholson.
Had to try and go a little bit quicker there, Lauderdale. They had the coach in Alan Christensen all by himself in that forward line, and there was a mismatch because Roach was going to go to him, as we see. Ball thrown in just in front of us as Siggins. So dominant already hands it off to Bryce Walsh, and the ball will be let out. Nicholson will bomb it, but only as far as the Lauderdale mark, and they'll look to hurry up here. Lauderdale by hands of Sutton. Through the middle there was McInnes. Filling in the hole was Way, but dropped it. Should say McInnes, not McInnes.
Yeah, they're playing tricks on us, aren't they, with the McInnes and a McInnes playing in the same game. Jenkins has the ball. Josh McGuinness will man the mark. Bailey Jenkins eases the kick over the top to his captain in Joseph, who has a bit of room to move. Joseph now pumps the ball inside 50. Genuine one-on-one. Now coming in to provide the reinforcements there for Lauderdale is young Tom Francis. Kicks out in the direction of English speedster Sam Curran. Kick now comes down the line. Treasure up against his direct opponent. Ball will bounce over and out. So we'll have a throw in just near us. Callum Thompson involved in that. You noticed that Josh Arnold looked a bit proppy before. He's still out there, which is a good sign, but you know, he's an absolute warrior. There's plenty of experience in that matchup of Josh Arnold and Bryce Walsh.
Looks like they've just put Dan Muir back into the forward line as well.
Ball comes in. Siggins and McInnes dueling. Siggins just gets his kick away. Good strength. Perkins, clever tap on to Walsh. Might be a little hot for him. Walsh can't quite keep the ball in play.
I think it might be Hunter Wright as well for Glenorchy, who's shifted down back and has a match up on Jeremiah Perkins as we speak.
It's the umpire to throw the ball in. It's a good throw considering the breeze. Siggins taps it down. And ball over the top, out to Perkins. Retreats back to Walsh. Former skipper. Kicks inside 50. Christensen tried to shut down Blake Waite, but the mark was taken, or the free kick paid. Waite will now move the ball on. Opts to go short. Difficult kick, but a good mark taken by Nicholson. Nicholson urged to play on by the umpire. Christensen was closing fast, but composure shown there by Lukey Nicholson. Fends the ball out wide to his teammate in Simpson. Simpson moves the ball on. Sutton was closing in. Still apply the pressure will Reece Sutton. Ball just tapped along. Umpire will come in and take this football. So the wind really picking up here at KG5. It's going to cause all sorts of havoc. It's a bit of a fluky wind as well. Ball thrown up. McInnes wins it down. Ground level. Walsh wrapped up in the Matt McInnes tackle, which was a little clumsy. Free kick going the way of Bryce Walsh. Kicking a bit away from goal. Lowers his eyes. Good kick inside 50. Finds Fletcher Hooker. Hooker moves it on quickly as well, but not a great kick. Looking for Christensen. Wait. Urged to play on. Arnold now wrapped up in the tackle. The umpire says holding the footy. Free kick going the way of Lauderdale, and earning the ball back there was Hooker. His initial kick wasn't great, but he did really well to earn the free kick back. And considering the breeze, this would take his absolute best, kicking from just outside the arc of 50. Fletcher Hooker gets a bit of extra distance on the kick. Kick just angling to the left-hand side of the out of bounds on the full. So that's probably just the evidence there, Bo, that this breeze is going to cause some real havoc across the second half.
It definitely is, especially down that end. You can just see the flag posts moving in the wind. They've got a flag on top of that, as we see the outer wing here. Away of Glenorchy. So Nicholson will hand pass it over. Get the 1-2 from Paulson, and again, nice dash there from Nicholson. Thompson, that was, will kick it back inboards to Jenkins. He's got Muir if he wants him, but decides to go out to Meredith on the lead of the Josh variety, and Josh Meredith will send it in the direction of Bailey. It wasn't a great kick. It'll be a ball up inside Glenorchy's forward 50, but wasn't a great kick there from Josh Meredith. He just kind of went the midway point of the two teammates.
Walsh emerges with the football from the stoppage, kicks out in the direction of Sutton. Looked too hot for him. The two number 8s go to battle. Thompson gets the handball out. Now Sutton swoops in, gets the handball off. Lauderdale keep the ball alive, and they just barrel the ball out of defensive 50. Be out of bounds on the full, so Blake Waite will be forced to do a bit of bushwalking to go and get that footy. He'll bring it back into play for Glenorchy.
It's always a dangerous spot down there as well, Oz, with the plovers. I remember getting caught a few times, nearly clonked in the back of the head by the plovers down there. It's always a mission.
Not a pleasant experience at all, the plovers. So Blake Waite to bring the ball back into play. Far side of the ground. High kick towards 50. Suki takes a good mark. Read that ball really well. Did young Tane Suki.
I like his game so far, Suki, is he's just rushed with the kick. It'll end up in Walsh's hands. And again, just a high kick forward. It'll end up with Males. And a high free kick to Jack Males.
So Males has it on centre wing. Wait, I should say.
Sorry.
The ball in hand. No, that's right, Bo. Kick goes inside 50. Mark taken by Tyler Martin. So the Lauderdale defender's really starting to up their intercept game. That's not a great kick for Sutton. We'll have a throw in just underneath the scoreboard here at KG5. Of course, two other games underway, nearing quarter time in those games. So we'll get a couple of score updates to you a little later on. 7.5 gone in this third quarter. It's a 40-point margin still in favour of Lauderdale. Dashing through is Males, got the handball over the top. Handball moves on. Now Lauderdale, so Glenorchy, I should say, go inside 50 through Thompson. A couple of players fly, and the umpire spotted a free kick. And it'll go the way of Tyron Bailey. Just being held by his direct opponent, Aaron McGuinness. So Tyron Bailey, he'll set himself his second look at the big sticks this afternoon, looking for his first major.
He needs to just calm down a little bit. I think he might have been a bit too quick on his last set shot, and it'll be
just clearing the area, I think. So Tyron Bailey.
That'll give him a bit of time to settle down, though, because in his last set shot, he did a bit quicker. Bailey will send the ball home for Glenorchy, and that'll be their first goal of the afternoon. 1-3-9 plays 6-7-43. And we just spoke about before how Bailey rushed his last kick, and I think that halting play might have helped him there. Just calm down a little bit in centre of the goals, and obviously that end doesn't have as much wind to work with. And that will be Glenorchy's first of the afternoon by way of Tyron Bailey, who comes from Norfolk, but used to play for Clarence Juniors, I believe, and if I'm Glenorchy, I'm signing him up pretty quickly because I reckon he can have a big future at Pies Oz.
It is a good sign of the relationship that Glenorchy have developed with the clubs in their area, able to make sure that players are able to play across a couple of levels to really look after the health of community footy in the northern suburbs, which is great to see. In the middle of the ground, Hooker merges with the football. Lauderdale looking for the immediate response. Hooker's kick goes inside 50, just goes inside 50. Perkins handballs it back to Shaw. Shaw, nice kick over the top, finds Christensen. So Christensen spots the leading Bryce Walsh and lays it out on a silver platter for him. That's a lovely kick there from Alan Christensen, and a good lead from Bryce Walsh. Christensen just popped it into the space and urged the former captain to run onto it.
Yeah, front position there. Bryce Walsh, he tore it up with 43 disposals in his first game of the year as he'll prop in Bryce Walsh. The wind take it to the left, but had a best on ground game against Glenorchy in round 2 as we remember coming off that. I'm not sure if it was an injury or suspension, but it doesn't matter because he's back out there now and dominating.
So Lauderdale with another opportunity here. Sutton has the ball at half forward. Sets the ball up inside 50. Siggins presents, unable to take the mark. Now it's at ground level, bursting his way through Christensen. Gets it off to Perkins. A high kick right to the goal line from Perkins. A touch ball through for a minor score. So Lauderdale peppering the goal face in the last minute. So the advantage grows out a little bit further. 139 plays 6-9-45. That kick comes in and finds Meredith.
Meredith will kick inboard to his coach and Josh Arnold, who will chip it to Dan Muir, who's played up the ground a little bit today. He thought about handing it back to Arnold, but said we'll kick it to a one-on-one, and that'll dribble out for boundary throw-in on the outer wing.
I guess that's kind of the role of Dan Muir, isn't it? Whatever the team requires, wherever they need just a little bit of extra experience and leadership. That's where he'll plonk himself, much like Josh Arnold. A couple of stalwarts who are giving back to the club. Arnold, red hot form, arguably career best form. He kicks it towards half forward. Martin and McGuinness will raffle it over and out for another throw in. So stoppage here, but I might get you to have a look at the scores from around the grounds and give us an update at the next stoppage. The ball's thrown into play. Smith wins the tap down. Waite does really well. Gets it back. Joseph tries to feed it back to his teammate, but he's held with the football, holding the ball. Good defensive pressure there from Lauderdale. They'll have it at half back. So they're just looking to reset now, are the Bombers. Kick goes back, so it's a bit of a task for Tainsuki, but he's up to it. He goes right across to Tyler Martin. Martin to Francis. Francis has a couple of players streaming forward for him. One of them is Williams. Played a lot of senior footy now as Joshy Williams. He kicks it inboard, a good kick. Spots up Ed Stanley. Now Stanley will look to execute the switch. The kick goes in the middle, probably not the way he intended. It's going to work out okay. Smith off to Sutton. With a bit of dash, Reece Sutton tumbles the ball into the pocket, out to the path of Siggins, but a little too far out for him. Over and out for a throw-in.
Yeah, 15 plays, 19 at Hobart Oval with visitors in front. 7-7 all tied up there at UTAS Stadium. So as soon as this game's done, you've got the luxury of choosing 2 games, and pretty even so far in both, as we see a throw in with Wright Siggins. Up around the body there, going to go as far as the boundary line. Be a kick in via Blake Waite.
Waite has a couple of players on really short for him. Doesn't like those options. Instead he kicks out the path of Jenkins in front of him. Some good defensive stuff there from Reece Sutton. This has been a terrific performance from Lauderdale vet. He played his 150th game before the bye.
Arnold looks like he's just moving a little bit better now. See him coming up on the boundary.
Ball thrown in. Siggins takes it out of the ruck himself, tumbles the ball towards the very goal line, but missing to the near side. Minor score. Hugh Blackburn was engaged in a contest on the goal line, but unable to have any say on that one. So another behind going the way of the Bombers. 6:10:46. Males has the ball in the back pocket now for Glenorchy.
Obviously back in this week, Jack Males will send it to Cooper Meredith. He'll play on quickly and go through the corridor to Callum Thompson, who's been really good. Hasn't got much on. He probably could have used Whitford in the handball, but didn't. We'll go to him now, though. So Whitford to the outer wing. Chasing that down there is Blowfield. And he'll find the lead. That's Luke Nicholson out there. He'll kick it into the 50 with Muir at the back. Ball brought to ground. Banana kick there. Reached the behind line. Touch behind. Sorry, I'm not quite sure he kicked that there, but
It was an interesting kick
half
from
an
the
under
stoppage,
ball.
wasn't it? Yeah. Set a few nerves, I reckon, through young Curran, but it's up to the task just to see it through. McGuinness will just barrel the ball out of defensive 50. A floating football. Beats everyone. Back of the pack now. Clever little tap there from the Glenorchy player. Just keeps the ball alive, but Hunter Wright wrapped up straight away. Free kick, Lauderdale. Through that man Sam Siggins. Siggins moves the ball on quickly, looking for Christensen, and he finds him.
That was such a daring play there from Lauderdale.
Christensen quickly moves the ball on, cutting inboard, looking for Treasure. Just not quite in the right position there, Charlie Treasure. Brady Simpson read the ball well. Simpson fans it out wide to Waite. Broadcast side of the ground. He's got a couple of players on short. Opts against that. Waite eventually on as one of the leads. It's Nicholson. Luke Nicholson. Chiselling ball, not a great kick, only lands as far as Nat Franklin. Franklin moves the ball inside 50, really taken with the breeze once again. Christensen now turns tackler and lays a really good tackle, but the umpire says no prior. Now they ball up just outside, attacking 50 for the Lauderdale Footy Club. Ball thrown up nice and quickly. Smith against Meredith on that occasion. Christensen at the bottom of the pack, turns her over. Umpire says play on, sort it out yourselves. Ball still bumbling around at the moment before it requires umpire intervention.
So again, we've just seen Smith rotating in the ruck, and Sam Siggins will have a stint on Hunter Wright in the forward line. He'll tap that down, and bursting out of the contest there was Nicholson, and Muir uses his body. Guinness will mop the work up there. And again, they've just got their way out of trouble here so far. Kicking to Reece Sutton, he'll mark it. 150th game before the bye, I believe. He'll chip short to
Ratcliffe, I think it was. Goes back to McGuinness. Yes, fans out wide. It's Tyler Martin. Martin, outer side of the ground. Sees Curran. Curran's got a battle on his hands. Glenorchy might win out. Crunching contest there. Curran emerges with the football. Gets it off to Hooker. Fletcher Hooker moves it on quickly. Out the path of Mickey Blackburn. It takes it out in front. Blackburn with the handball out to Franklin. Chance here for Lauderdale as Nat Franklin sends the ball inside 50. Couple of players fly. That's a really good mark there from Meredith. Done that a few times today. He looks to move it on quickly, but the ball falls short. Curran keeps it alive. Mickey Blackburn sweeps on the football. Gets it off to Alan Christensen. Christensen retreats back to Hooker. Hooker just pushed as he kicked the football. Ball still in a dangerous spot. Brown wrapped up in the Ned Shaw tackle. Umpire will come in to intervene. So, dangerous spot here for the Glenorchy defence. Ball up inside attacking 50 for the Lauderdale Football Club. They lead this one by 36. Hurried kick towards goal. Taking the mark. I think it might be Blackburn. The umpire will pay it. It was a scrappy kick away from the contest, and Mickey Blackburn took a strong mark. Tied up against the pocket. Opts to retreat back to Bryce Walsh. Selfless stuff there from Stixie Blackburn. Now Walsh sets himself, allowing for this ball to swing back, but always look to the right-hand side for a minor score.
very difficult to gauge this wind at the moment. It absolutely absolutely blustering down here. Mark was dropped from Arnold. Hunter Wright fails to pick it up cleanly. He eventually does, Arnold. Handball was smothered and again will retreat for a boundary throw and allowed out a wing there. KJ5, so 19 minutes gone here at 27-point lead by way of the Bombers. They'll be looking to get a few more goals on the scoreboard before the quarter's end. Smith. McInnes did the ruck, but Wynn just got the breeze out of that. And Arnold will kick it forward. Only one home was Bailey and McInnes. McInnes for Lauderdale will shift. Look to shift, but eventually goes into the middle. Bell Chambers will mop up. Tries to handball it to himself. Didn't have much on. Glenorchy just finding a way in a bit of trouble. So now they'll burst forward. Mark was taken there by way Perkins, and on the line there was Blackburn. Took a really nice mark, and he'll snap around Mick Blackburn, and the kick's not a great one from him, and it was a good mark on the goal line as Blake Waite will send it out.
Certainly had his opportunities today, Mickey Blackburn. He's done a lot of good things. His executions let him down a little bit, but still playing a good game of football as Glenorchy march the ball down the outer side of the ground. This one out in front of Josh McInnes and Tyron Bailey. Bailey does well with the tackle, but the numbers are there to support. McInnes and Williams combine. Now off to Franklin. Franklin, chipping kick to Treasure. Daring kick from Treasure. Opens up the door now for Glenorchy. Good pressure being applied there from Francis. Walsh's kick finds Curran. Curran to Continenza. Alex Continenza kicks it inside 50. Cutting across there was Waite, unable to take the mark. Christensen off to Continenza. Taps it on. Don Brown coming in support. Waiting for the reinforcements. Christensen comes in. Umpire Mercury will claim this ball back.
So pretty deep into the quarter now. Siggins and Wright. Siggins taps it down. He had Christensen on the move, and Gillett Shaw will escort that ball outside the boundary line for a throw-in. So it will be Wright and Siggins again. I'd go facing Sam Siggins in the ruck. Can't be dominated as a lot of other people have been so far.
I've got to be honest, Bo, I reckon you would be absolutely dominated by Sam Siggins. I reckon most would.
I reckon I'd have him covered though.
I like that confidence. Might have to arrange that during the week as Shaw gets the footy, kicks it out into the path of a couple of players, but Glenorchy with a bit of dash. Just getting the handball away was Blowfield. Walsh swoops on the football, gets it off to Treasure. Treasure with a clever handball out in the direction of Continenza. Unable to get full contact with the kick. Mopping up was Jenkins. Now Glenorchy will go down the outer side of the ground. That kick out in the direction of Matty Joseph. Joseph cuts back in ball looking for Bailey. Clever kick. They've got nothing really inside 50 for them now. They're just going to have to think their way through. Tyron Bailey kicks out in the direction of Matt McInnes, who takes a really good mark. Promising stuff here for Glenorchy. Matt McInnes just outside attacking 50. Kicks it in. Plenty of Lauderdale jumpers down there. So too was Nicholson, unable to take the mark. Kick comes out of defence. Continenza taps the ball on. Arnold merges with the football. Hurried kick inside 50 is a good one. Finds Dan Muir.
It's the last kick inside 50 that they've been struggling with, and Muir on that occasion able to scuff something up. So it's a pretty difficult kick with this wind. He'll chip it in short. The kick is not a good one, but mopping up there was Gillett Shaw. Gillett Shaw snaps on the left foot. That'll be Glenorchy's second of the afternoon. Harrison Gillett Shaw will send that one home, and the margin just decreases a little bit here as we deep into the third quarter. But a nice pick up there from Gillett Shaw, and again just being able to capitalise there on that inside 50. The kick wasn't beautiful by any stretch from Muir, but it's a chaos ball, and Glenorchy on that occasion were able to come out on the better end.
Yeah, so all of a sudden this quarter is 2 goals, 1 Glenorchy to 4 behind Lauderdale. So This has been Glenorchy's quarter. Obviously not a fluent quarter of football for either team, but they're winning the quarter so far, the Magpies, and just ticked over the 24-minute mark. They can just jag a late goal here. All of a sudden, they'll have their tails up heading into the three-quarter time break. Ball in the middle to win. Walsh gets it off to Hooker, who somehow shows a bit of a dance move to get rid of that one. Martin funnels it back to Stanley. Takes his time, Ed Stanley. Assesses the options and then opts to kick it into the forward pocket. Hayden Smith is beaten. Hunter right at the back of the pack. Wrapped up in the Smith tackle. Certainly places I'd rather be than being tackled by Hayden Smith. The umpire will take the ball in the forward pocket. 24.5 gone in the third quarter. 32 points the difference. 2-4 plays 6-12. Umpire throws the ball up. Smith wins it down. Hurried kick away there from Males. Walsh, nice blind turn. Clever tap there from Nicholson. Shaw drives the ball to the goal square now for Lauderdale. Good body work from Meredith. He's been one of Lauderdale's best today. Christensen, though, swoops on the loose football. I think he might have kicked the goal. He has. So Alan Christensen gets the goal that Lauderdale needed. They get their 7th. He has his 3rd. And that really, in the context of this game, is quite the important goal because Glenorchy have won the quarter to that point. Still winning the quarter at the moment, but that's a really important finish there from Alan Christensen.
It certainly is. Just got the front position on that occasion. Again, just being able to capitalise inside 50 here. We'll have Siggins in the ruck. I'm not sure if I've seen my man Sam Siggins come off yet this quarter. Oz, he's just so powerful and great running ability as we have Hayden Smith in the goal square. Turn our attention to the ruck as Siggins will win that down. Off hands again. Thompson handballs it out. And Luke Nicholson, who's had a bit of the footy this afternoon, will kick it in the direction of his captain, who the ball will go over the line for a throw-in. Leading there was Joseph for a deliberate. Guinness had front position, got a tap on that occasion. Shaw sends it in the Thompson direction. Bailey off hands, and it will be another behind here. Should say Gillett Shaw with that one there. Will be rush behind. Another kick in by the way of Lauderdale. Guinness brought it to ground, marked it eventually. And not much on forward. He'll hand passes it off to Dan Muir, who just thumps the ball forward. Bailey was blocked out of it, and McGuinness will have scored it over the line here for a throw-in in Glenorchy's forward 50 pocket. So, can they produce something here, Glenorchy, in the latter stages of this third quarter? 27 minutes gone, say 27 and a half. Throw-in is good with the breeze, and Siggins will tap it down again. Just pushed, and it will be the three-quarter time siren here at KG5. So 2-5-17 plays 7-12-54. I think Glenorchy won that quarter on the goal score tally, but again, Christensen being able to capitalise as soon as they got a goal. Glenorchy, he just got another goal to bring him back.
He did. It was a crucial finish from Christensen, his 3rd goal of the contest. And you're right, Bo, Glenorchy won the quarter, and I think that'll be a really pleasing thing for Josh Arnold and his coaching staff. They're always looking for those little wins in a year like this with so many young players in their squad. And I think they'll certainly go out of that quarter with plenty of positive to take out of it. We'll quickly run through the goal kickers for both teams. They'll have a break at three-quarter time. So for Glenorchy, 2 goals that quarter, 1 to Tyron Bailey and 1 to Harrison Gillett. Well, for Lauderdale, 3 to Christensen, singles to Blackburn, to Sutton, to Walsh and to Franklin. So 2-5-17 the Magpies, Lauderdale 7-12-54. 1 quarter coming up in this one. We'll take a break for three-quarter time. The action coming up next. Welcome back to KG5, the final quarter of this one about to get underway. It's Lauderdale leading 7-12-54 to Glenorchy 2-5-17. Players from both teams just get themselves into position. This promises to be an intriguing final term. Glenorchy had the better of the third quarter, but a late goal to Alan Christensen just steadied the ship a little bit for Lauderdale. They're still well and truly in control of this game, but we just wait to see how they finish this game off, as Lauderdale desperately need a big win to try and keep in touch with the race for finals football. Of course, round 8 marks the start of the second cycle, I suppose, of the TSL season. 17 comp, 21 rounds. The first 7 rounds didn't really go the way of the team from the Bayside suburb of Lauderdale. Walsh tries to tap it on, met heavily. Back of the pack, Stanley wrapped up in a tackle there from Bailey Jenkins. The umpire will take it back. Siggins up against Matt McInnes. Nails try to get his kick away. Clever little kick there from Siggins. Landed in the arms of Reece Sutton, who drives the ball towards half forward. Hayden Smith traps the football, gets it back. Chance here for Lauderdale through Hooker. Evades a couple. Hooker kicks to a dangerous spot. Christensen out the back, unable to reel the mark in. The ball's still alive though. Christensen v Brown. Brown has kicked it, and the umpires adjudicated that it bounced and it wasn't deliberate. So Tom Brown probably got away with one there. Alan Christensen not stoked with the umpire's decision, but we now have a throw in left forward pocket.
I don't think I'm disagreeing with Al on that one. I think definitely try and keep that in.
Smith won the tap down, looking for Franklin. Umpire's seen something though, and it's going to be a free kick going the way of Nat Franklin. Played a lot of senior football now as Nat Franklin, former Tassie Mariner, one of the Tassie under-25 team a couple of years ago that played Vic Metro as well. He's been a stalwart of this Lauderdale midfield for a long period of time as he begins his approach to goal. Nat Franklin looking for his second, misses to the right-hand side, up the hill, and through for a minor score. Defending there and trying to get a hand to it, Wisconsinenza keeps the ball alive now for Lauderdale. Umpire will come in once again. Arnold hands it over. So ball inside attacking 50 for Lauderdale. Smith wins it down. Moving the football there was Arnold. The umpire's called his out of bounds on the full because he kicked it into the shin of the Lauderdale player. So Arnold to bring the ball out of defensive 50 for the Magpies. Doesn't get about a defensive 50 because Franklin lays smother on the ball. Arnold now trying to mop up the mess. Smith comes in, throwing his weight around. Numbers here should favour Glenorchy, although Waite's handball only goes as far as Bryce Walsh. Not out of trouble yet of the Pies, but they might be now. Nicholson takes a good mark. Now Nicholson sees something he likes immediately. That might be Brady Simpson. A really cruel bounce there. Brings Reece Sutton into the contest. Sutton kicks inside 50. Smith unable to quite get his body to the football. Roach may have kept it alive. No, he didn't. Charlie Treasure was the man in the pocket, but just beat him over and out for a throw-in. So 3 minutes and change gone in the final term of this one. Lauderdale in a dominant position. They'll be looking to really extend the advantage and try and generate something in their season off the back of this afternoon. Tap over the top from Smith was clever, but only as far as Manson. Manson went to Thompson. Thompson still banging away in there. Christensen and Brown flirting around the edges, but the umpire will take it back once again. Spiralling kick. Will be out of bounds on the full, so we obviously get the Premier Data stats late on a Sunday, though. A lot of it's to do with the conditions and just the way the contest has been played, but don't think the disposal efficiency would be overly high from either side today. It's just been one of those games, hasn't it?
Yeah, it definitely has as a kick-in ball, but no, I don't think... I reckon the guys at Premier Data will have their work cut out for them, but of course they're the ultimate professionals and get those, sure, either tomorrow or Monday as we see a throw in, but yeah, the efficiency is not going to look great, I reckon, for both teams. It's been a really scrappy afternoon, and the conditions have been a little bit of a factor, but there's been a lot of pressure, I think, this afternoon.
Another throw in. Ball's just been locked inside the attacking 50 so far this quarter for Lauderdale. Siggins in the ruck against McInnes. Neither ruckman able to get to it. Handball back from Hooker. Comes back into Franklin, who tries to handball it to Siggins. Bit of a task there for Sam Siggins. Mopping things up there was Franklin. Eventually does get to Siggins. Now it's out to Rackett. Good tackle, as you said there. Ball still in motion. Siggins hacks one towards half forward. Good tap on there from Sutton. Keeps the ball alive. Christensen draws the free kick. High contact. Well played there from Alan Christensen. He's already got 3 to his name. This...
Very unlucky.
Yeah, he just put himself in the right body position, didn't he, Alan Christensen? Knew what he was doing. He'll now look to kick his 4th goal of the afternoon.
Ultimate professional, Alan Christensen.
Lauderdale coach. Quickly see something he likes. Unselfish there from Christensen. Good kick, finds Reece Sutton, who has been excellent today. Kicked a fantastic goal in the opening quarter. He provided plenty of running carry, particularly in that opening term. Another player who's been around for a long time, Reece Sutton. Lindisfarne and Dodgers Ferry Jr. Begins his approach. Kicks on the way from Sutton. Just stabs at it. Goes to the left-hand side and punch through for a minor score. So Glenorchy bring the ball back into play via Isaac Manson.
Not much on here for the home team, who'll just look to kick it out. Christensen will tap onto it. Nice little razzle-dazzle there from the veteran. And it will be ball throw in. The PA, I'm not sure what that's about, but we'll have another throw in. It looks like Christensen a little bit more in the midfield.
Ball is thrown in. Siggins, clever tap on, finds Shaw, wrapped up in the tackle immediately there was Ned Shaw. His brother Oscar out of the Lauderdale team this year. I believe he's interstate or overseas, but he's a loyal viewer of the TSL live streams, is Oscar Shaw. Christensen has a bit of a challenge ahead of him, and he just tried to get rid of the football, wrote the tackle, and the umpire says they'll take it back. Ball thrown up once again. Siggins takes it out himself. Handball there for Sutton. Sutton drives the ball to 50. Lands in between a bunch of players. Walsh wrapped up in a strong tackle there from Wright. His handball goes a long way back. Jeremiah Perkins trying to track it. A couple of Glenorchy players come in for reinforcements, and they do well. Thompson now has the football. Cuts it back inboard. A little too hot for Blowfield. Stanley gets it off to Josh McGuinness, former Brisbane Lion. His kick in the middle of the ground, and doing well, really well there, was Continenza, who drives it inside 50 looking for Smith. Smith did well to keep the ball alive. Blackburn sniffing about in support. Smith off to Siggins, around the corner. Sam Siggins loves it. Siggins hits the scoreboard for the first time today. Lauderdale get another. Fantastic finish from Sam Siggins, and great competitiveness there from Hayden Smith, and well set up as well by Alex Continenza.
Yeah, it certainly was, Anthony, and again Sam Siggins just showing his class there with this nice snap around the body, and we'll do it all again here with the ruck as we see Christensen move into the midfield now. He's been a really dangerous small forward and drew a few free kicks. All the smart competition players in the competition do. Yeah, again, Siggins has been enormous this afternoon. He's played a lot of ruck time, actually. Sam Siggins, as they'll go again, and no one really getting the tap down there. They tackle just where they are left off, and will be another ball up So, Siggins just pushed McInnes out of it. He'll get taken in the Thompson tackle and will be rewarded holding the ball. So, Glenorchy conjure something up here. Nice little rush through the middle. Meredith hand passes it off to Luke Nicholson. They'll kick inboard 50. Not much on. Over the head of Joseph. Leading the charge there for Lauderdale. And now we'll spill out. Tyron Bailey got his hands on it. Picking it up was Joseph. Only as far as the captain in McGuinness, and now they're out of trouble again. Lauderdale, but they'll be coming back in by way of Josh Arnold. He'll load up from 50. Ball's on its way. Mark cannot be taken there from either team. And it will be a behind to Glenorchy here. So 2-6-18 plays 8-14-62. And again, they'll kick it out to Reece Sutton.
Sutton looking for Christensen, but Whitford comes in and takes the mark. He dishes it off to Arnold, who's going to have another ping. He goes to the top of the goal square and taking a comfortable mark. It was Tyler Martin. Made the switch down back this year, Tyler Martin. He's pretty good as McGuinness tries to get the kick out of defensive 50. Now the handball goes to Sutton. Back to Stanley. Another player who used to be a forward. They're doing good work down in defence the last couple of seasons. Shaw scrapping away. Eventually the ball went over and out. We'll have a throw in on the outer side. So a 44-point margin in favour of Lauderdale. Might get a couple of scores from you both soon, and also maybe a look forward to who these two teams have up against them next week as that kick goes inside 50. A chance here for Glenorchy. Lauderdale, the numbers eventually come in support. Stanley handballs it back. Great defensive effort there from Poulsen. Continuing to scrap away here, and there's a player for Glenorchy who's taking a long time to get up. We'll keep an eye on that. The kick goes inside 50, very near the player who's down, but mark's eventually been taken.
Probably need to stop over here on court, but no, they'll continue on.
Try and clear the area, I think, as McGuinness takes it in the defensive goal square. He's urging his teammates to come to the broadcast side. He finds Nat Franklin. Franklin cuts it inboard, looking for the man they call the Rock, Phil Bellchambers. He gets off to Ed Stanley. Stanley right to the outer side of the ground, finds Ned Shaw. Shaw's got Sutton providing some overlap run. Doesn't go that way. Kick goes inside 50 and Siggins is there and he marks. Good body work there from Sam Siggins. Too big, too strong. He takes the mark, and let me know when you've been able to ID that player who's down as well, Bo. Just let me know when you've got them. There's Siggins.
Yeah, Dan Muir.
He's Dan Muir.
Glenorchy.
Looks to be okay now as he's walking off the field, which is good, but here in play, Sam Siggins.
Came back from injury as well, Dan Muir. Hamstring niggle.
Siggins looking for his second. Around the corner, kick is on the way. Tugs it to the near side. Done a lot of things right today, Sam Siggins, but he wasn't quite at his kicking boots on the way he would have liked, but he's still been a very influential player. So Lauderdale, they move to 8-15. Ball to be brought back into play by Isaac Manson.
In the North Launceston game, it's 32 plays 18, and at North Hobart Oval, 35 plays 27. And not any easier for Glenorchy. They come up against a red-hot Kingborough next weekend. Say offhand by a few. Arnold dances and prances around 2 or 3, and he'll find Blowfield out here. Joseph has got a bit of room on Stanley, and he'll kick it in that direction to Matty Joseph, who spins around, and it'll be a goal to Glenorchy. So Matt Joseph there, very nice razzle-dazzle there from him, and I'll get Glenorchy's third on the board for the afternoon, and it's a nice little bit of foot candy sold from the skipper and Matt Joseph. So 36-24 plays 8-15-63 with 13 minutes gone in this last quarter. And yeah, so Lauderdale will take on Adam Bester's North Hobart next week at their home ground. And Doesn't get any easier for Glenorchy, as we just said, playing Kingborough. You probably think at this stage that Hobart will be going into favourites. We say a bowler. Tap down there from Roach. Perkins. Off to Sutton. And he'll just drive it inside 50. And passes it off. And on the lead there was Sam Siggins again. And he'll line up for his second of the afternoon. He missed one from a little bit forward about 2 minutes ago. And this one proves to be no easy task either, but the superstar has been very good today, Sam Siggins, as he wanders in. Will put 9 goals on the scoreboard. Kicks on its way, and Sam Siggins celebrating a bit earlier than he would have liked there, and will be behind there for Lauderdale. So 8-16, 64 plays 36. 24 here, 40-point lead, 15 minutes and a half gone here, and Blake Waite will just take a lot of territory. No one really manning the mark there, and he'll send it to Nathan Blowfield. He'll play on. Kick was to Shaw, Gillett Shaw. A bit of a left foot hunt there by Gillett Shaw, and Joseph will track the ball down, sells the don't argue, lines up, squares. And Joseph just can't capitalise again for Glenorchy. So 37-25 plays 8-16, 64. The kick out from Josh McGuinness, the captain. Don Brown off hands, picking up there was Curran. And again mopping up was Thompson, who I really like the game of. Scrapping kick. Thompson gets a handball receive. Gillett Shaw was by himself, just couldn't mop it up. Kick inside 50 was a good one. Roach taps it down. I think that's Nathan Blowfield taking in the tackle, and I don't think you are on the bench. I think he might be getting a bit of treatment down in the sheds. See another throw up. So tap down. Hands was a few. And now kick was smothered there from Bailey Jenkins. That's a difficult task to do on a cold winter's day like this. That was a nice smother there. The hands will be red raw after that.
They certainly did well. The umpire looks to throw the ball back into play. Right forward pocket. Meredith had the tap. Mopped up by Francis. Thompson goes in low and hard. Bryce Walsh does exactly that as well. So 17.5 gone in this final term. Ball thrown up. Tap over the top. Walsh evades one tackler. Kicks towards the boundary line. Couple of plays are deliberate. Umpire says then there's a target out in that direction. So throw in. Meredith up against Smith. Smith wins it down. Shaw tries to get away. Met by a couple of players. The umpire will come in to intervene once again. So Lauderdale piled on 5 goals in the opening term. They've only managed 3 since then, which I think Glenorchy would mark down as a real positive defensively. That's a high ball. Blackburn flies, unable to take the mark. Christensen at ground level somehow emerged with the football, and he's drawn the free kick, so he'll take the ball defensive side of the wing. Alan Christensen
drew the knees there. Christensen, the umpire paid it.
Christensen goes short, finds Walsh. Walsh wheels and goes. Not his best kick. Waite unable to take it cleanly. Great pick up from Blackburn. He dishes it off to Bellchambers. Bellchambers to the one-on-one. Siggins at the back. It was a good fist from Wright. Siggins just trying to paddle the ball out in front. Gets back Sam Siggins looking for goal. And it has not been his day in front of the big sticks this afternoon. Hits the post, and that is a minor score. He's been exceptional right around the ground, Sam Siggins, but just hasn't quite been able to get the scoreboard reward that he's probably deserved. So, another minor score.
Well done to Hunter Wright there. It's never easy, as we see Cooper Meredith standing under that one, but just a really good fist that probably put him in trouble, but again, very good. As Thompson dishes it off Darnold. We'll run around one, finding Tyron Bailey, who's been pretty quiet by his standards this afternoon. He slips over, he'll hand pass it off to the coach Josh Arnold, and blocking the hole there. The Lauderdale defender, and they've just been able to do that so well today. The team in the red and black. And they'll switch it outside to McGuinness. 50 was McGuinness, but kick it to another experienced campaigner in Bryce Walsh. Lead up from Christensen was good, but mark will be taken by Isaac Manson. So, not much they can conjure up here, the Pies, and it'll be another intercept mark for Lauderdale. I'm sure they'll have a lot of that to do with the Premier data. Chipping kick to Ed Stanley. And passes off. The drop there from Fletcher Hooker has Jenkins on his tail. He'll hand pass it out to Walsh. Walsh shrugs a tackle, kicks it inside 50. Able to make any impact there, Brady Simpson. And now Glenorchy have a number on the wing. And again, the kick just not very good from the Magpies, finding Fletcher Hooker, who obviously was in Queensland for a little bit with Broadbeach, we heard, and Southport. He's been over everywhere as McInnes drops back in the hole. He'll hand pass it off to his coach, who can't pick it up cleanly. He'll hand pass it back to McInnes. And he'll have Jack Mayles on. He has Matt Joseph. So, not too much on presenting for Matty Joseph. He'll just have a long kick inside 50 and hope for the best. Blowfield brings it to ground. Mopping up is Walsh. Good don't argue there from Bryce Walsh, and he'll kick it out to the World Cup winning Tom Curran. Again, finds Phil Bellchambers, another seasoned veteran of this Lauderdale outfit. He'll kick in the direction of Siggins. Siggins will mark it, and Wright just didn't take front position on that occasion. And Sam Siggins will line up again for his second goal. Third or second goal of the afternoon.
For his second, he kicked one earlier in the quarter. He's had plenty of looks at it this quarter as well, though. Good stuff there, though. Left out to dry. He did well. So Siggins tied up against the boundary, just ticking over 22 and a bit minutes in this final term. It's a 40-point margin. Siggins looking to extend it. Goes with the drop punt. Don't tell me Sam Siggins of all the kicks. No, he misses that one. I thought that'd be about right. The one he does nail is the possible angle, but not to be. So that would be another minor score on the records. 3-7 plays 8-18 here in the pocket. Kick out in the direction of Bailey. Well defended there by Josh Williams. He was probably outsized, but he did really well. So the umpire to throw the ball back into play.
It's been a defender's game this afternoon, Oz. A lot of spoils we've seen. And again, the Lauderdale defence has been able to hold up here.
Handball over the top looking for Nicholson. Sutton strapping away. Does well, Reece Sutton. He's been one of the best on the field this afternoon. He kicks in the direction of Bellchambers, who takes a strong mark. Bellchambers to Hooker. Hooker unloads from 50, looking for Siggins, who gets it again. He wants to play on this time, and he kicks the goal. So Sam Siggins finally gets his reward. That's his second goal. He has had so much of the football in this final term. Eventually gets his second major. And that all started from some nice work there from Sutton and from Hooker. Hooker just pulled the trigger, and Siggins one out deep inside 50. He's almost always going to take that mark.
Yeah, look, I'm not quite sure about the defending, though, from Hunter Wright. I think he probably just got lost of his man, Sam Siggins, there. He had the front position, which is always great and what you need, but just kind of lost his opponent when he took the front position, and Sam Siggins was always going to mark that. He's just such a strong, powerful athlete that he shapeshift people out of the way. Almost make them look silly. We've seen another ball up here. McInnes wins the tap down that time, and Jenkins will get a hand pass out. Arnold. Manson. He'll find a teammate in Poulsen. Thought he had a nice spell of 5 minutes, Jathan Poulsen, and Lauderdale kick it to Phil Bell Chambers. You have to see here the North Club Rooms, but they finally get it out. Bryce Walsh takes on McInnes. That was a very nice, don't argue there for Bryce Walsh to Matt McInnes, but he didn't give up there, the big ruckman.
Yeah, I like the pressure from Matt McInnes. He's probably going to be out-muscled by Walsh, but he just held his ground well. I reckon there are some really positive signs with Matt McInnes. He's been thrown in the deep end this year against far more experienced ruckman, but I reckon there's plenty to work with for Glenorchy. Smith wins it down, looking for Franklin. Nicholson merges with the football. Nice smother laid there from Ratcliffe, who keeps the ball alive. Handball out in the direction of Bell Chambers. Unable to take it cleanly there is Phil. Umpire says that's going to be a free kick, pushing the back from Roach, going the way of Bell Chambers.
I reckon he can be one of the premier ruckmen in the next 2-3 years, Matt McInnes, if he just puts a little bit more weight on, I reckon.
Drives the ball forward, just Bell Chambers, and the mark's been taken there by Blake Waite. Waite looks to move the ball to the outer side. You can see Lauderdale playing a little bit of trouble. Get to keep an eye on that though. Here in play, Joseph has the ball at half back, assessing his options. Goes out wide to Don Brown. Brown looks to move the ball on quickly, but was a little too quick with his disposal. Out of bounds on the full. And yeah, I think that might be Ratcliffe there, who's looking a little worse for wear. Both.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed he's okay.
Looks like Ratcliffe. Looks like could be his knee. I'm not going to make assumptions, but it looks like a leg injury of some sort just by the way he's been held. But turn our attention back in here. It's Nicholson mops up what he probably should have taken, and then the hand pass just misses. And in the tail of today, just a few hand passes missing for Glenorchy. Just can't see anything up off the half back line as we see. I think it is Ratcliffe walking in front of us. Hope that he's okay. McInnes wins the tap down. Kick in the direction of Siggins will mark it, and Sam Siggins lines up for his third of the afternoon. And again, just having front position on Hunter Wright on that occasion. It's been a difficult afternoon for young Hunter Wright. Siggins will stamp his authority on this game. It's obviously already done this game, but Sam Siggins can add a little bit more spice to it. On the siren, and line up from about 35. He'll meander in, and Sam Siggins for the icing on the cake for Lauderdale. They'll get their second win of 2023, coming both ways of Glenorchy, and well, it's been a pretty dominant display from the outset. Glenorchy trying to hold up. Probably all came loose in the first quarter, getting 5 goals on the scoreboard. Lauderdale only kicking a further 5. So 10-18-78. Lauderdale plays 3-7-25 Glenorchy, and that'll be something that Josh Arnold will be pretty proud of, keeping them at only 5 goals in 3 quarters of. Yeah,
a couple of opportunities late that he probably wouldn't have been stoked with, Josh Arnold, but you're right, they certainly turned the screws after quarter time, and Lauderdale, there was some pretty ordinary kicking for goal. Some of that is due to the weather conditions here at KG5, but 10-18, that's something they'll look to tighten up a little bit. But Sam Siggins, he finishes the game with 3 majors in the final term. He probably could have kicked 6 or 7. He had so many opportunities down there, but in the end, Lauderdale do what they need to do. They get their second win of the year, and they'll hope that this can springboard into something as they look to get their 2023 campaign up and running, while Glenorchy still yet to get a win, but showing some positive signs across the course of the season so far with their young players. We'll quickly run through the goal kickers for either team. For Glenorchy, singles to Tyron Bailey, Matty Joseph and Harrison Gillett. While for Lauderdale, 3 to Christensen, 3 to Siggins, singles to Blackburn, to Sutton, to Walsh and to Franklin. Thank you for your company on the live stream this afternoon. Make sure you do stay tuned to the AFL Taz YouTube channel for the broadcasts out of North Hobart Oval and UTAS Stadium. 2 cracking games this afternoon on the TSL live stream. Thank you to you, Bo, in the commentary box. Thanks to Sean on the camera and Ash Wilkes back in the studio. Bo, Lauderdale do what they need to do. Look forward to bringing some TSL action to the viewers with you in the next couple of weeks.
Yes, thanks for having me again. We've done a lot of footy together, so it's always fun coming up here, and especially big thanks to our cameraman Sean. He's natural at it. He's done a great job this afternoon in the freezing cold. He's only got one layer on, which I'm a bit surprised about. But yeah, thanks for having me in your home this afternoon, and I'm sure we'll be back covering the footy soon as Lauderdale triumph over Glenorchy.
Yeah, 53-point winners, the Lauderdale Football Club. We'll take that as the end of the broadcast for us today. As I said, stay tuned to the other two games at North Hobart Oval and UTAS Stadium. Thank you for your company. Bye for now.